Yes.
Okay, I want black because it's black. Okay. So Sam asked me to share my experiences teaching the courses. So far, I'm enjoying it. So let's go to my, just so you know, I'm teaching the CS 142 TypeScript and JavaScript right now until next week. And first things first, the 1 week deadline. Not really crying, was like, oh, I wish I could have prepared more if I had more time. But instead of thinking like that, I would say that, ooh, it's an opportunity. Now Sam is like, oh, I need someone to teach. And Kevin's it. And then instructor, so that's an opportunity. So what's my day?
Also,
Oh, go ahead.
This is the first time try at the CTU. As a student that they are teaching, and then also different scale. Yes. But it's a funding base.
I don't think you are quite
Seriously? Oh, I'm touched. I'm touched. You're my master. Anyway, so what my day looks like. So after the lecture, I try to go home right away. Maybe have lunch. Thank you so much. I appreciate you buying lunch for me. I don't know if we didn't see each other. I don't know who will eat that lunch. Maybe Kim, because she's hungry all the time. So go home, study a bit, or watch something a bit just to rest myself or sleep. And then sometimes I sleep a bit and then have early dinner and sleep again. Then study because I have more energy. Then sleep, wake up at 6. So the purpose that I wake up at 6 a.m. because I want to be here early to reduce my anxiety. Because if I prepared everything in the morning, I'm sure that at least it would go smoothly, right? So I also still try to do this. I'm still in line with this. Do 1 free code camp challenges in APIs and microservices certification. I still do 1 week code challenge. But right now, because I am kind of running out of the easy questions, so I'm kind of having a hard time. So sometimes I do kind of cheat that if I get stuck so much and I really need to prepare, I just go for the solution and just try to understand it. Yep, because the lecture comes first. Next is how do I prepare for the materials? Basically, I read the book, the provided materials. Then I went for JavaScript. I don't like it. It's like they have a lot of weird analogies. We're squirrels, octopus, I don't know. And then read a different book to understand. Thank you, Kevin B. He gave a nice O'Reilly TypeScript book that I've been reading as well. I do watch conference speakers on how they done, and then that gave me an inspiration how to deliver my classroom session. So one of them is the CS50 lecture.
That's my favorite.
That guy is super pro, but
yeah.
I can't do that. He's super pro. Watch known programmers. So this one, I think thanks for Dustin who gave me a video, the fun functions. And this guy, what's cool with him is he explained the concepts very well and in a funny way. So that's why, wow, I understand and I'm having fun. And then this girl, yeah. And this girl, I guess she was helpful when I was like studying about functional programming. So this is a tech speaker. This was super helpful when I get stuck on something. Should I be doing this TypeScript? Should I still do this TypeScript? Did I do it right? I post in Slack. He answers, even though he's not already a part of us. Thank you so much. Some people answers as well, like Tuan, like Dustin, Kevin B. So it was really helpful to reinforce that, hey, am I doing this right? Okay. So preparation for the morning lecture. So first things first, I was lucky because I was like, I don't like the lecture slides. So I quickly Googled and then found this cool template. It's called the chalkboard slide, something like that template. And at least with that, I try to have fewer words and sometimes use the circle, the line, the arrow, colors to make sure I hit the key points. Also, I prepare for the codes for live coding in a markdown file and push it up to GitHub. Also, I make sure my code runs. Sometimes I do get good resources, but only JavaScript, and then now I need to try to create a TypeScript example. Now I really understand why Kevin B had like 6 hours of time just creating the hands-on because I know it's too much. It's like, okay, they do this in JavaScript, so how do I do this in TypeScript? It's like, and then now it's a complex thing, right? Next is I do review the muddiest point and also put them in the markdown file so I don't forget to hit them during the lecture. So this one is, now I really appreciate the muddiest point because now at least I know what I need to talk about. Because there are times that I was thinking, if I don't have the muddiest point, am I talking less? Am I talking too much? do they need this? But with Maria's point, at least you're sure, okay, they need this. Okay? Review, I think I was supposed to review the concept test. So in the event that, let's say, I need to explain, but thank you if the TA facilitator explains it, that's good as well. More exposure to you, more time rest for me. I also put extra notes in the Markdown file as well. So I put the links to the article that I read. Because what I do also with this Markdown file, once I'm done with the lecture, I also give it to the students that, hey, this is my codes, this is my research, and then you can go over the other people's muddiest points, which is good. Next is, how do I set up for the morning lecture? I come in at 7:30 a.m. I check my materials. I check the concepts, if I still understand it correctly. So I try to open the O'Reilly book and check the muddiest point. If there's something easy to answer and I can put it aside or maybe hit it. Write in the Blackboard, Zoom to 925-553-5240. Make sure my screen is clear. Open screen share. Set up my window, so I would have a TypeScript, JavaScript, and then the browser console on the right side. I'll show you that later. And also, I do set up the room PC with the GitHub Markdown file as my guide, so I won't ever get lost. And if I stumble, I know what to do next. Next is, I do find a code for the day. So while waiting for the 9 a.m., I would put some random codes, you know, what we share in the random channel. Also, connect the presentation clicker and connect the wireless keyboard. So during the morning lecture, I start with the code for the day, I explain it, and if they laugh, good. If they not, I try to explain it so it's not funny anymore.
For example?
I think the phrase for today was something like, if a programmer does a bad job, it creates 2 more jobs. So I was like, oh, keep doing bad jobs then. And then the other one is like, code like you, someone can murder you and they know where you live. So like if you're like maintaining the code, right? So I still try to relate it to maintaining the code and why TypeScript, right? I also do the recap of the previous day. So with the recap of the previous day, I grab my wireless keyboard, I hand it over to someone and I say, okay, can you build me an array? Can you, next person has it, oh, can you access the array? And then it doesn't matter if you know good, if not, I'll try to, okay, you don't know, I'll guide you. It's fair programming. I'll instruct you what to do, you type the code. And while he types, I explain, okay? But I think when we came for today, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do that because most of them are really doing Linux and I don't want them to feel bad as well. So I think it was fine day 1, day 2, day 3 because it's easy, but creating higher order functions, maybe not. Maybe it's gonna have the hard time for them. So also after the recap, I now proceed to my day. I type while explaining, so live coding. So I start with 0 in my code editor so that they don't get overwhelmed with all the codes right away. It's like, where do I look? So I type. Every time I explain that this is a keyword, this is a variable, this is a function, this is a parameter, this is a function body, this is a return. Every time, keep repeating so that hopefully they get used to it or get bored to it. Also, I try to do things differently. I'll still need to get their feedback by Friday. I'll try what Martha has done that gets the feedback of every student. I'll check if this works well with the workflow. I live code. And then after that, I reinforce with the lecture slides, with the concepts, keywords, and why we're doing those things. And also, before, sometimes when I end early, I use the code with TAs. And thank you for helping, Aya, Hiteshi, and next time, I think, Ruth. Okay. So after the morning lecture, I stay there, I assist with questions, I assist with hands-on. I usually get more questions with a free code cap. I check with morning TA how they're doing, have they eaten their breakfast, have they eaten lunch, and I do prep for tomorrow. Next is stumbles. So I still had some stumbles. I did have some typos where sometimes like, so, okay, what's happening? And then instead of me just struggling with it, I was asked, okay, can you find the typo? And even though I have the guide because TypeScript is new to me, it's like, I put the data type, the type safe, it's there, but oh, the colon, again, I miss it. So Kevin A said, I need a linter. So I installed, let's see. And next, lack of experience for the why. So a lot of people would ask you, so why are we doing this? Why functional programming? why, I don't know, why is it sunny today? So I'll ask them that, I'll go back and answer that. I try to research, ask the teammates, I even ask my developer friends if like it needs some experience to answer. Okay, mistake with explaining an API or method, I'll just say, good catch. That's the right way. I'm just testing you guys. Yeah. So good points, the daily codes, I make them laugh. And also what I found out that when I was trying to explain stuff, let's say, this is an object of, an array of objects. And then I use a Star Trek example with Klingon, with Borg, with Vulcan, Romulan, and then they laugh, blah, blah, blah. And then also I use the dog example, dog years for map, filter, and reduce. And then it was fun at first because I was like, okay, let's do a map so that we multiply human years to times 7. And then and then I asked them, so what do you want the filter to be an old dog, to be considered an old dog? And then someone said, oh, maybe 15 dog years is an old dog because that dog died like some time ago. So I said, you're a bummer. Okay. And then next, live coding with students, give a good assessment for me if they know. And sadly, because most of them are fixated on Linux Plus, sometimes, okay, define me a variable. And then, no, they're stuck. But I don't embarrass them, I just guide them. Next, the Markdown file guide helps a lot, answering the muddiest points as well. So what's my struggle? I have a little knowledge on JavaScript because I've done free code camp 2 years ago. And then you know my path, I did JavaScript and then I did Java, and then I did my bootcamp with Rails, and then now I really say, oh, okay, I want to do Python for coding interviews. And then now I need to revisit this one, and again, it's confusing. Next is, I'm just familiar with TypeScript. Even though I created some of the modules for CS 519, I didn't really go deep on like Kevin B has done. So I did not prepare for CS 142 because I was really preparing for the full stack for SAM afternoon TA. So I kind of did not expect that. First lecture, I guess the anxiety. Little time and using the day-by-day approach. With the limited time, I can only just prepare for the next day. Okay, diet. So me and I were talking about that. Like, okay, we're talking about diet, but we're talking about food again. And we're talking about diet, we're still talking about food. So that's a daily struggle.
Why course number is CS 142?
It is, why? Because when you add 2, it becomes the full stack development. I don't know. I'm just
CS 140 to 143 is our system.
Ah.
I saw it and I stole the band when I used it.
Good.
That means ours, they are not covered in TypeScript or JavaScript. They cover that cover the Java. Or even they are studying the object, that's it. So I didn't say that, so it's closer to that. Now I'm saying that.
Also, another added struggle. So when I started my day 1, I didn't have access to the core shell. And then day 2, I had access to the core shell because I'm not technically the instructor, so I'm just a grader. But still, it was good that we have this Apprenti TA Center. I just say, hey guys, just go to Apprenti TA Center, and I made a folder there. Everything should be there. And then next, what helped? TAs, thank you so much, because even with the content, like because of the limited time, you were spotting errors, especially Dustin. Thank you so much. Muddiest point, yeah, we all know what works with that. Screen share, because coding can be so hard to see. So I ask people to, hey, open up, just join the Zoom and then you can see it in your laptop. Next, the live coding window setup, recorded session, because we know some of them taking tests, meeting with managers, and just say, hey, just watch the video, you'll be fine. And again, what helped? Lunch? Eating, so it's eating again. And then before I end, I'll just show you the recorded session that shows my, how it looks like. So this is how it looks like. Let's see.
Can we hear your voice?
Oh, sure.
You don't like your voice.
I don't think I have a good microphone to have a good voice though. So I do some live coding like that. What happened here, line 7, we declare the variable CS course, and we assign the function make course. We give it a parameter named CS. And then now in number 9, we use the variable. Okay, I'll try to skip and then show you This is
and
the
E square brackets. Is correct. And then species is Romulan. Okay? Let's populate that. Populate that. Zero. And Vulcan.
This is
And
the time they were
Rock.
laughing. And also the code for the day looks like this, and like that. I just show it on the side. Yeah. So again, the setup looks like
Let's
this.
go to the depth of the program.
Oh, okay. One bad programmer can easily create 2 new jobs a year.
That's why you listed they want to hire entry level. They want to hire experienced one. Usually they can give 10,000, 20,000 more. Sometimes not better. And they can sell more time. Their productivity, sometimes the training 9 times better. 9 times. People. So a lot of the point programming, if you don't know framework, this time the guy who was founded what Benson, he's used the framework because of the he made the all over it looks like military base, everything combined. If you do not have a bad concept, now you have a bad kind of a cybersecurity attack, you are suspended to disaster. You don't know what's going on.
So this is just a example session.
Available to everyone, so let's do a years. And let's see numbers array. And in the numbers array, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 5. Okay. So let's say we want to do a calculation of the 12 years. Okay. I'm just gonna use a rough estimate. So first, we want to use the years variable. Because it's an array, you do have access to the map function. And in that map function, it requires a function. And inside of that function, it should have a parameter, and that's a number. And that function inside of it should also output a number. Okay, now we can define the body of the map function. So what do we want? So we want to return to convert a normal human years to 12 years. So we just return the item and multiply it by 7. Right? Okay. This one should also have
This is the time that I stumble.
Years map functions item. Oh. Someone see my typo here?
And so this is the time I ask, can someone check my typo? And then I think it's this one, extra.
Let's see.
Usually I spotted like a good amount of time.
Typo. This is before function.
So here, now you see the struggle because I don't have the mastery for
You have functions, you have item, you have number. I think I posed this wrong. There you go. Oh, that's a typo. Okay, let's run that out.
Were you jumping inside your head? Nervous.
There you go. We just multiplied everything by 7. Now, questions? Okay, map basically just is a higher order function. It's an API of an array. So if you have an array, you can do a dot, then call it map. And then the map function requires a function. Okay? The function that you put in the map function should include 2 parameters. Okay? I know, sorry, that's it. 1 parameter.
Okay, so that's an example of how I'll explain stuff. So what really helped also with the higher order function during that time is I tried to decouple, refactor, and then explain again, refactor again, and make it like this short code. And lastly, just to show you what the slides look, I put some nice colors. And that's should be it. And again, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for stepping up.